Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Caffeine Queen Crafts. My name is Sarah and we are here tonight with a WIP and chat. If you have never seen a WIP and chat before, WIP is work in progress, WIP. Chat is where I talk and you listen. Some people treat it like a podcast. I'm basically here to keep you company while you craft. So, we're working on a diamond painting. 99.9% of the time, there are diamond paintings on this channel. Occasionally, I might throw in something different, but mostly we diamond paint here. And what we are working on tonight is a little different. First of all, I'm filming on a Tuesday, which is unusual for me. I normally film these on Monday. They go up Wednesday. Tonight, I'm filming on Tuesday. It's probably going to go up Thursday if I was a betting woman, which I'm not because I'm always wrong, but just in case. So, what we have here is we have a mini dazzle from Diamond Art Club. This is their 50s diner food series, and this is the taco. How this is different is I am single placing this. Originally, I was filming last night. Let's back up. Okay. I was filming last night. My phone ran out of storage. I caught it early enough that I was like, okay, I can just like have a weird cut in the middle of my WIP and chat. Let me move some things around on my phone. And I accidentally wound up deleting the 20 minutes of the WIP and chat I had already recorded. And then I was like, you know what? No. At that point, I was so mad. I was like, we're just done. We're moving on. Tonight is not our night. We're done. And I just sat and I diamond painted to kind of detox for the rest of the night, calm myself down. And I wound up finishing Welcome to My Room. So you are not going to get to see Welcome to My Room until my month in review. But this is part of my single placing challenge. I can talk. I haven't mentioned it much, but we're doing a single placing challenge where I am single placing all of these mini dazzles. A challenge video for that is going to come out probably on Sunday. It's scheduled for Sunday. In my mind, it's going to come out on Sunday, so we'll see if it actually comes out on Sunday. And basically, I'm just single placing all of these. This is and rolling to see which one I do next. I rolled in a clip for that video, and now we're going to diamond paint it live. So I guess you get to see me doing part of this challenge live. Which I've been filming most of it as time lapses, but if you came over from that video, like if you're watching this after that video has come out, welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is Miso the cat. She is starved for attention, which all regular channel viewers of my channel know. I think she is on camera more than I am, honestly. Did I negotiate for you to make cameos on this YouTube channel? I don't remember signing that contract. How many cameos are you required to do? She just full on like laid herself in my arms like she's a baby. And she's slow blinking at me and my little heart is melting. And I don't feel like I can move her. So I'm going to talk for a sec and see if she loses interest, which she's not going to because I have no self-control. And I'm going to pet her, which will just validate this behavior. Look at that baby. Such a good little soft kitty. Like, I wish you guys could feel how soft she is. She's just so soft. So soft and so sweet. All right. I do want you to move me, so. I love you, but I need you to move. Come sit next to me. I was looking into those office chairs, like they make cat-friendly office chairs where like the arms will lay down and it'll have a spot for your cat then. And I thought about it, but I was like, I'm not going to spend $300 on a chair when essentially I can achieve the same things with my dining room chairs. My dining room chairs are very soft and cushiony. We diamond painted my dining room table. And I can just move one over so it's right up against my chair. And that is Miso's chair, where she sits while I diamond paint to snuggle. Unless, of course, she decides that that's not close enough to the action, in which case she pulls a classic cat and sits right in the shot. I swear also, if I'm diamond painting and the camera is not rolling, she almost never does this. think she knows. She knows the potential for attention, or she knows that she is being the most disruptive she can be. You're so rude. I know. I know. She lives with a toddler all day too, so I feel guilty. Because, you know, little Miss Ma'am chases her all over the house. My daughter is, we call my daughter Holly on this channel. That's not her real name, but privacy matters. And she's obsessed with this cat. Really, all cats. She sees her, she runs at her, she grabs her face, she grabs her tail. Her belly, her ears, any part of her she can reach. So I feel bad. It's part of why I have a hard time moving her. It's coffee. It's a drinky. Do you want to move over? She's like, why would I do that? Why would I move over when I'm getting exactly what I want by doing this? Oh, what's that? What's that? Is that a buggy? Is that a Bugsy? Go get it. Come on. Come over here. Come on. Okay. So let's talk a little bit. We have the taco, which thankfully still has its plastic cover on it. Actually, once I take the plastic cover off, she likes to chew on the plastic covers. So she might be more interested in that. We'll see. In terms of what I am working with, I am working with a cat sitting on my chest, not my hands. And then I also have this Forever Young tray. These are nice because, oopsies, don't roll away. They slide right in, turn them to the side. You can see they're at an angle. This is a diamond painting pen. It is actually the first ever diamond painting pen. I ordered with my very first kit from Diamond Art Club, which was Cafe on the Terrace. I ordered an upgraded pen. This was the one that I picked. I put an all-in-one placer in it later, and right now it has some super sticky in it from Patty Wax. I'm going to refresh that a little bit. I don't think they sell this specific pen anymore, but I will link a similar pen down below. Everything I'm using will be linked down below. If you use one of those links, I may make a small commission, but please do not feel like you have to use any of the links. You can just watch this for entertainment or fun, or you can search the products independent. Whatever works best for you. And no multi-placer, because I know myself and I would get frustrated and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna multi-place. So no multi-placer to avoid temptation. Sorry, an audio thing started recording. I'm probably gonna cut that out. My bad. Anyway, and just make sure I get all the cat hair off. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna just peel this back. There is a little bit of cat hair in the glue because cat hair is like glitter and drills. It just goes everywhere. I've been starting with this black circle. There's no 310 in this kit. And this is it. If this is your first time seeing mini dazzles, they're from Diamond Art Club and all of them are special drills. So this right here is a fairy dust. It is 3371, which is that standard dark brown color, but as a fairy dust. And it does have, I call them the specialist specials. It's got a couple ABs. Oh, come on, let go. Super sticky is super sticky, FYI. I always gotta remember when it's fresh, light touch. It's got a couple ABs in it and some, why am I blanking? Not metallics, not Lumo. Crystal, that's it, crystal. That we will hopefully see today. So, my plan for this whip and chat, I'm not going to keep a super close eye on the clock because these have been taking me between 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm just going to kind of talk until I finish this project. And hopefully that'll amount to it being about an hour. This super sticky is incredibly sticky. Just gonna try to lessen the sticky a little bit because I am like being a very light touch. Okay, so life. I did not post a WIP and chat last week. You can probably tell from my voice, I got very sick. And that is, you know, a hazard of life as a toddler mom. My kiddo is 2, and she, you know, does toddler things like go to daycare and stick things in her mouth and then stick her fingers in her mouth and then stick her fingers in my mouth, or take sips from my drink when I'm not looking. Literally once I caught her drinking my iced coffee. And that's why when she's awake, I use like those tumblers with the straw lids. Why is this popping out so much? Hold on, I'm gonna take out the old putty and start fresh. Because this stuff is like popping. One sec. So, what I think is happening, what I think is happening is that the old putty and the new putty are not sticking together, even though they're the same kind of material. So I'm just gonna clean the whole thing out and start fresh, which I should have done, but I was just feeling kind of lazy. It happens. Okay. And then if something is too sticky, you can always dab it on your pant leg or on your shirt just to kind of make it a little more manageable. That's better. Knock on wood. So I didn't record last week because you can still hear it in my voice. I am still kind of recovering. I'm nowhere near as bad as I was this time a week ago, though. And also, when it was a cold for me, but for little Miss Ma'am, she got a double ear infection from it. So, like, she was really sick. And when she's really sick, someone usually comes and stays with us. Like, you know, it's me and my dad most of the time. But then I have an aunt who comes over most weekends, and a few cousins that stop in. And when she's really sick, God bless my family, someone usually comes over to help me. And after they go to bed, after she goes to bed, I don't have the alone time that I usually have to diamond paint or to film. So, you know, because I can't just ignore the people that are in my house helping me. And I wouldn't want to because I love them and I'm very grateful to them. So, they are, a WIP and chat was just not in the cards. And honestly, like between my family being in and me being sick, you probably didn't want to hear from me anyway. I was in a mood. But that is what it is. Life is what it is. And here we are. We are better. And we're going to just keep on keeping on and going. She's kind of, you know, she's been quiet. I think she's been talking in her sleep more lately. Because she's been down almost half an hour at this point. It's funny. I only hear her say mom when she's in the crib. Or when she's like fallen down or tripped. That's when I hear mom. The rest of the time I'm just basically, hey you. She doesn't say hey you. She doesn't have that kind of language yet. But like, you know. Spiritually, her vibe is very, you know, hey you. I'm joking. She actually was really attached to me this weekend. It was sort of, we had a weird 3-day weekend this week. It was really, really cold where we live. So we didn't go out much, which is unusual. I try to, on the weekends, make sure to keep us moving. Because if I sit at home, I do lose my mind. I can't do it. I need to go out. But she outgrew basically all of her clothes. Like, when she went to bed Sunday night, everything was fine. She woke up Monday morning. It was not fine anymore. Sorry, taking a drink. And that's because the growth hormone gets released while we sleep. And by we, I mean children, because, you know, adults don't grow. So it's not uncommon for kids to wake up one morning and just be bigger. But I had to do some emergency shopping yesterday because I have a friend that was giving us clothes, and, you know, she hasn't for a while, and I'm not going to ask why, because that's rude. But, you know, I was like, okay, I thought we had another box of clothes from her in the basement, and I was very wrong. Had to do some emergency shopping, pick up some stuff. Find, you know, the nearest place that was having a sale, thrift stores, that kind of thing. And I think I did a good job. We are fully stocked until, you know, the next time she has a growth spurt in her sleep. So maybe we're only fully stocked till tomorrow. Who knows? Children, especially at this age, grow incredibly fast, which just is mind-boggling to me. Ugh. I'm not looking forward to this, like, I call it the wand symbol, that, like, slash thing with a square on the end. That's not going to be fun. That's going to be a lot. That's color blocking already. And we all know how I feel about color blocking. It's all right. Okay, what else is going on? We had our 3-day weekend. Survived that. Oh, the other thing, you might notice my nails are blue. It's not any kind of accessory or product that I use in diamond painting. I got my hair done. If I remember to, I will pop a picture up. I have had my hair dyed 3 times in the last year and a half, I guess. Year. I got to get it redone every 5 months. And the cat just hopped up. No. No, look, look, look. Look, look, look. It's the plastic cover. Go get the plastic cover. Go get it. Go get it. Go get the plastic cover. See how it's hitting you in the face? Go get it. Go get it. Go kill it. I'm a mean person. Anyway, so I got my hair done. And it's the second time. I get it done every 5 months. And my hairdresser is amazing. He's very smart. Let me just say, if you get your hair, they're called fashion colors, the unnatural colors. Right now I'm in my galaxy hair kind of phase era, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, but I'm not really a Swiftie. I'm more into Beyonce, don't hate me. But how it works is, like, the first time we did it, it was sort of like a jewel tony kind of purple. And then this last time we did it, it was kind of more black light purple. And how it wound up fading was really cool. I kind of had these, like, it wound up fading sort of platinum in places, because the original concept that I gave my stylist when, you know, it came time for hair color day, he was like, what are you thinking? And I showed him my inspiration photo, and I was like, I want it to look like the sun turned my hair purple. And he was like, I love that. So he doesn't do, like, my full head. He does a balayage, and, like, which is basically a partial highlight. And he took that concept and he's run with it. And this time we sort of talked it over, because I really loved how, like, it had faded platinum in places, including around my face. So I essentially had these, like, platinum kind of, platinum, silver, purpley money pieces. And I really loved that. And it was entirely on accident. And we talked it over and we agreed, I don't want to be blonde. Blonde, if you look good as a blonde, great. That is not in my journey. So I'm a little worried I don't have enough drills for this. Let's find out. When I talked it over with him, though, he was like, well, you know, we could kind of try to do it so it'll fade a little more, like, platinum-y all over. Like, maybe try to recreate that look intentionally with as it fades out. So he did blue, like he did purple as the main base color, then some blues, and then he layered in a little bit of silver on top. And I almost could not see the silver at all when I left the salon, but now I've washed it once, which is why my fingernails are purple, because I just washed it a couple days ago. Oh yeah, I think I'll have enough. Knock on wood. And that's why I now have blue nails, because I wash my hair. When you have hair color like this, you're really only supposed to wash it once a week to kind of preserve it, because it's like you have art on your head. If anyone is watching this and you're thinking about getting your hair dyed a fashion color, and you're going to go to a professional to do it, which in my opinion is obviously worth the money I pay to go to a professional, and it is not necessarily cheap. That is a ridiculous expense that I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep, but I'm having fun with it while I can afford it. And because of that, you really want to preserve like what they do and what they create. And that means I only wash my hair. Oh, so look at this. I got this trash pot from Black Dahlia Designs. I'll link that down below too. And if you do get it colored, first of all, pick a stylist that you really trust. Because again, it's like you're getting art on your head. If you're gonna pay all that money, it better be, something that you love. But also talk to your stylist about how it's going to fade. Because my stylist and I, what I really love about him is when we sit down, how it's going to fade is going to be is part of the conversation. Like, because that's typically when people are like, well, the fake hair colors look so cheap. It's because it's fading not well. And especially if you're paying like money at a salon to get it done, you want it to fade really, really well and really beautifully. And that's what I like about my stylist, is when he and I have these conversations, we make decisions basically not how I'm gonna look when I leave the salon is what we're going for, but how am I gonna look in 4 weeks is what we're going for. Because you wash like 4 washes later basically. And I think that's great. Although I do have to say, he finished my hair this time and he's like fluffing it out, oohing and ahhing. We were just both losing our minds because we loved it so much. And he goes, it's going to look even better in a few weeks. And I was like, I don't see how it possibly can. I don't know how, because it's already pretty phenomenal. If I remember to, I will try to pop a picture up of the hair. Although I do have to say, I've already washed it once and he was right. It does look better even after I've washed it. So that's my random hair dye thoughts. What else is going on? I'm going to double check to make sure that we're recording because I'm feeling paranoid now after last night. One sec. We are still recording. Oh, I get to say this because I actually do have OCD. Was that a compulsion? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe a little. If I check again, it's definitely a compulsion. We're going to say once is fine. Once is fine, twice is a problem. So, what else is going on? Oh, what I should talk about is, so I had a New Year's resolution video go up in which I talked about, my 6 kids at 2026 and the event that I'm hosting. That is a massive cat hair that is already under drills I've placed. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much. Oh, me so. This is what I get for being a bad cat owner who doesn't set boundaries. Okay. I think that's as good as it's going to get. All right, anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, my New Year's resolutions for diamond painting. Just for diamond painting. I did set up my crafting cart. It is sitting right next to me, and I love it. My dining room table has way less stuff on it. I know where everything is. The only downside is the second and third, the bottom shelf and the middle shelf are totally baby accessible. The top shelf isn't because I keep it covered while she's awake. But She's been going through my washi tape. She thinks that my drill grinder is a toy. Like, she thinks it's a puzzle, I think, or some kind of musical instrument. Like, she'll walk around twisting it, pretending to grind drills, I guess. Funny, funny, funny girl. She's a riot. So that was a complication I didn't foresee. But I really should have. What kind of toddler mom am I? What else? So I did achieve one of my, I have goal for 6 kits for 2026, and then, like, not that I'm only going to do 6 kits, but that these are 6 kits I definitely want to get to kind of goal. I'm 100% going to do more than 6 kits. Like, this kit was not on the list, but I had 8 goals total, like the 6 kits plus 2 other goals, and one of the other goals was the cart, and that's done. So I have finished 1/8 of my New Year's resolutions. Go me. I am so productive. Even single placing, I'm killing it. Not really. I don't think I'm doing a very good job at this. How do you guys single place accurately? I know everyone says that it's supposed to, like, make you more precise, but I feel like I'm not being very precise. Ooh, that's hard. All right, what else? Oh yes. What I really should talk about is, so if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that there was something I was doing in preparation for a holiday that my friends and I celebrate. It's Witchmas, but a word I'm not going to say when I'm being recorded on the internet. It's Witchmas, but a certain letter in that word is a B instead of another letter. I'll let you decide what that letter could possibly be. And essentially what it is, it's where some friends from an old job and I, we get together, we gossip, we laugh, and we exchange mean gifts. Like, haunted dolls have been exchanged. And were exchanged again this year. There have been bottles of things wrapped in duct tape. Like toys that are fun and amusing buried underneath every single soy packet sauce that someone got with their Chinese takeout order for the last year. It's just a really funny, amusing night. And not last night. When did we have it? Oh, Sunday. It was no exception. It's a gift exchange kind of thing, so everybody brings a gift and some bring a gift. And I brought this year a diamond painting called Keep It Trashy from Fallon Gems. I unboxed that kit. I did a post review on that kit. If you saw my year in review, it was in that kit. That kit was a lot of color blocking. And I wrapped it in trash. Like, I got some old newspaper and everything from our recycling bin, clean trash. I'm not that mean that I would wrap it in dirty trash or smelly trash, but, you know, I wrapped it in trash and threw it in the gift exchange in just like a garbage bag, basically. People thought that was really funny. I thought it was really funny. I thought I was being very clever, but the gift I went home with, I don't even know if I should say. I got a calendar that was called Extremely Accurate Birds, but it's not extremely accurate. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. If you want to know exactly what it is, I would say Google it yourself, because I'm not going to say that on the internet. Gag gifts. It's funny. It's fun. We have a good time. We had a lot of fun stuff. We had a mouse pad of the Barbie going like, oh, that was a great gift. We had baked goods and Tupperware wrapped in duct tape. Duct tape is a big theme at this party. It can be very cutthroat, and there's, you know, like some gag gifts that we like trade back and forth all year long. But my personal favorite was one of the girls. She watches my channel. She's the bestest ever. I'm not going to say her name because she's a very private person. If she's watching this, hi, honey, I love you. I hope you're having fun doing whatever crafty thing you're doing while you're hanging out and watching me. She wasn't allowed to watch my channel for a while, and now she is again because the surprise is over. But anyway, she got just a calendar from the Dollar Tree and filled it with everybody's birthdays and like our joke holidays, like our inside joke holidays. Like on this day, in this year, this is the anniversary of that time that, you know, so-and-so did something or other. And that was a really, really funny gift. And I think was the hit of the night. Which is not surprising. She has the best presents every year. I took home her present last year, which was the soy sauce and like all kinds of like arts and craftsy stuff and fun things, and people give out really funny shirts. And we were talking about tattoos, and it got me thinking about what I need my next tattoo to be. I've had one that I've had planned for a while. So if you don't know this about me, little Miss Ma'am, who's talking in her sleep on that monitor behind me, she is a IVF baby that I had on my own. And I actually, despite my age, had a hard time. Like, not getting pregnant. I didn't have a problem getting pregnant. I had a problem staying pregnant. And she was my 4th pregnancy. So I was sort of on edge, like, the whole time I was pregnant with her. And I actually have on my calf a miscarriage tattoo for the other 3 that I lost, and my mom, who has also passed away. So there's, you know, a saying in the fertility things, elephants are often used in miscarriage form. Sorry also if this is very depressing and you came here for a fun time, but we're going to be real for a sec. Because an elephant never forgets is what they say. So elephants are very often used to represent, you know, the mom. And I have an elephant on my left calf, kind of watching 3 birds fly up into the sky with the giant moon up there. And the 3 birds are my 3 lost pregnancies, and the moon is my mom. So, you know, me sending my babies up to my mom. And I always said, and I talked to my tattoo artist at the time, when I got that tattoo, it was right before I took a break. So, like, after my 3rd miscarriage, I took a break for a year. I was like, we need to take a beat. Been going real hard for a long time. And right before I started up again, after my year off, I decided to get that tattoo before I started again. And I talked to the artist about it. And she was so sweet. She was like, yeah, I left room. If God forbid we have to add more birds. She's like, but what do you think, like, you know, if this round goes well? What are you thinking? And I was like, well, obviously, if it goes well, you're not going to see me for a bit. And she hasn't. But all of my tattoos, and this has been kind of an unintentional thing, but I have 2 other tattoos, and they're all in black ink. All of my tattoos are in black. I'm not like a big color tattoo person. I have friends that are. I think that their tattoos look phenomenal, but I don't know why. I just like the idea of my tattoos matching or like going with any outfit that I happen to be wearing and not clashing, which sounds weird given the hair color that I have, but I don't know. It's just a weird distinction I have in my mind because I can change my hair color. I can't change my tattoos. And I decided, I was like, you know what? If it goes well, and I do have a baby, which obviously I did, I would like to add an elephant, a rainbow baby elephant under the mama. Because the other thing in, you know, the fertility community is you get your rainbow baby. It's the baby you get after the storm. After a storm, there's a rainbow. So, you know, little Miss Ma'am cooing on that monitor is a rainbow baby. She's the baby that I got after the storm. And I kind of like the idea of that being my only tattoo in color. Like all of the other art on my body is black, except for that. And I said when I finally stopped nursing, I would get that done. And I stopped a while ago, but I just haven't done it yet. And then I started thinking about ideas for another tattoo. Another one about my mom. I've got one about my mom that I got while she was still alive. I got the miscarriage tattoo after she passed away, and obviously after all of my miscarriages. But then I was thinking about another thing with my mom, and I was thinking about getting another one for her. I'm not going to say it yet because it's still in that phase in my mind. If you get tattoos, maybe you know this, but there's like, you kind of got to let it percolate in your brain to make sure it's something you really like before you say it out loud and subject it to the idea of others. So that's where I am at in that particular journey. But we talked a lot about tattoos at that party because there's a large contingent of my friends that have tattoos. Not shocking, I'm sure. And so since that party, I've kind of been percolating on that. This is the phase, I must have gotten this kit during the phase of Diamond Art Club where these drills were very pointy. If you don't know, Diamond Art Club has had for a while, they're moving away from them now, 15 facet drills, which are sharp and almost hurt to touch them. Like you run your fingers over it and it's not like a smooth sensation. It's kind of pointy. I'm not going to say like sandpaper, but I've felt smoother drills. So they're moving away from that, but I must have bought this kit at the height of that. Probably most of my stash is going to be like that. What was weird though was Welcome to My Room was like that in some colors. So like there were a few colors that were still 15 facet, but most of the canvas was not. So hold on one sec. Okay, sorry about that. My dad just came upstairs for a quick sec and needed something, but here we are. Okie dokie. This is taking longer than I thought it would. I don't like it. I hate it a little bit. It would be so easy to color block this. Although I don't really like color blocking. But I would be through this faster. I don't know how I feel about single placing. I've been trying to like gather my thoughts on how I feel like this is for this particular challenge, and like I thought I'd try it to see if I wanted to do a full canvas like this, but I don't know. I think that if I were to single place an entire canvas, it would have to be something like some artwork that I really loved. And I don't think this would be it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are you guys thinking in terms of single placing? Like, I don't know if anybody... I don't know if there are any YouTube content creators who are solely single placers. If they are, I have not found them. See, look, I hear that mom, but she has been asleep for over an hour. That girl is talking in her sleep, I tell you. Ah, I tell you. Who knows? What? I do have to say, I like how this tortilla shell is looking though. Like, I can tell it's a tortilla. The blending on it looks great. Diamond Art Club does a very good job with their transitions between colors. That's what I think makes their rendering style so phenomenal, is how well they transition from one color to another. Ooh. Okay. More life things going on. Today was the first day after Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we are deep in January. That's all I can really say. Everyone's kind of locked in. I feel like when you work at an elementary school, the first half of the school year goes way faster than the second half. Because, like, I don't know. You know, you have the start of school, everybody's really excited. And when that kind of buzz sort of starts to fade out, you hit the Halloween, excitement pretty quickly. And then after the Halloween excitement is over, there's Thanksgiving. And then Christmas and New Year's, And then when everybody comes back to school after winter break, there's Martin Luther King Day, and then there's like nothing. For a long time, there's nothing. Just school days until you hit spring break, which ours is not until late March. So we're just kind of in it now, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Like, the year is locked in. The Valentine's Day fever has not quite kicked up, and there's no like big breaks coming anymore. Everybody's winter break was far enough back that, like, being back to school isn't novel anymore. We're all just sort of in school now. And that's a big part of why, honestly, that vibe at work is a big part of why I decided to create the new event that I am doing called Fandom February. I will link the announcement video for that. Basically what it is you're going to diamond paint something where the content of the diamond painting gets the dopamine going in your brain. So this kit would not qualify for me. I like tacos, but they're not getting the dopamine going in my brain. And essentially, it can be fan art, it can be Disney, but it also can be really anything. Like, I'm going to do on my 6 kits for 2026 video, I'm doing the Paint Gym National Park series for this event because I love national parks. They get the dopamine in my brain going. So it can be an artist that you love. It can be like, a nature scene that you love or a custom that you have that you love. It could be your favorite old masterwork. I don't know. Really, it's totally self-determined. Whatever gets the dopamine going in your brain. Anything you are a fan of, basically. That's why it's Fandom February. And I thought that February was a good time to do it personally just because, like I said, February is just sort of dull at work. Not as bad as January, but I needed time to get back into the rhythm of everything in January. So, Fandom February it is. Also, the alliteration. I love alliteration because I am a huge nerd. I'm excited for Fandom February. I know I'm doing the National Park kit, and that's going to be my priority, but I haven't decided because I would like to finish at least 2. I'm thinking one of them should be a canvas. And I could do Cinderella, the Cinderella Castle from Diamond Art Club that I have. Because even though I'm not the biggest Cinderella fan, Little Miss Man is, and I'm a fan of hers, and anything that she loves, I love. So I'm going to say that would qualify. Because that is a lot, even though it's a big kit, that is a lot of color blocking. And then I also have some kits from J.D. Gem Shop coming in. Although those I know are going to be confetti heavy. I have a little mini kit with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda that I got off Amazon that I know is going to be just adorable. So I don't know. I keep going back and forth. Like, if you asked me yesterday, I would have been like, Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. But I think a lot of it is going to depend on how long it takes me to do the national parks. Because there's a ton of kits that I have in my stash that would absolutely qualify for this event. Yeah, you hear her? That's Mom. Is she awake? I can't tell. I'm not going in. It's trash. Look at that. That's missing a piece. Oh, little Miss Ma'am, go to bed. It's the long pauses that make me think she's talking in her sleep. So I guess she also talks to me in her sleep. So maybe I'm not just hey you in her mind. I should ask the daycare if she talks to her sleep during nap time. Mental note. Boop. All right. So I think that's everything going on. Yeah, we're just sort of chilling and doing our thing. So why don't we start talking a little bit about content? I might not finish this while on this WIP and chat with you. I'm going to try stretch out my content talk. We'll see how we do. So content. Obviously, I have my single placing challenge video going up on Sunday. So if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing for that. And we can take a look. I'm not gonna lie, my subscriber number has been kind of freaking me out lately. I think it's because of the year in review. I did that year in review and that got a lot of views for my channel. Because again, context is important. Some of you might have watched that video and been like, that seems like a normal amount of views, Sarah. Not when your videos typically get 20 to 30 to 50-ish views, and that one got over 1,000, and that's a lot for me. Because context is important in these situations. And I don't pay attention to other people's view counts or follower counts or anything like that, but my follower count kind of went way up after that. Like, I got over 100 new followers. No, not over 100. Since I posted that video, I've gotten 100 new followers, which is a lot. Like, that's, you know, I think when I posted that video, I had like 170 or something, and now I have 270. That's like an increase of almost 33% in a very short amount of time. And again, context matters. And I'm not saying this to be braggy. I'm trying not to get up in my head about it because I'm worried about it. Or not worried, but I'm feeling a little self-conscious about it. And I try not to pay too much attention to analytics, but I am a data nerd. My job is essentially to be the keeper of all data about reading in the school, and I'm just a data nerd. It's who I am, and we embrace it. Anyway, obviously I have this single placing challenge going up. So if you like diamond painting challenges, that can be something to check out. I also have an 8-hour diamond painting challenge and a 5 a.m. diamond painting challenge. The 8 hours was where I diamond painted for 8 hours, obviously. And the 5 a.m. diamond painting challenge was when I got up and diamond painted between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. for 5 weekdays. I think there was a weekend in the middle there somewhere, but it counted. I counted it as the inventor. Oh no, I didn't invent that challenge. Originally it was done by Lena over at Library of Diamonds, although I think she structured hers differently. But as the rule setter for my specific challenge, I said I passed, and I did. I did it. Oh, I don't know. Other content, obviously there's this WIP and chat, which will be going up a day late, but that is what it is. And then next week there'll be another WIP and chat. Hopefully I will have decided what I'm going to work on. Look at that crystal drill. Like, that's part of the cheese. I think that's a really cool effect. Yeah, that's a really cool effect on the cheese. Anyway, hopefully I will have decided what I'm going to diamond paint for Fandom February by then, because I would like to be kitting it up next week if I can remember. In the meantime, in terms of diamond painting, I'm going to try to work on Elegance Fuchsia. If you are new to this channel or you did not see it on my year in review, Elegance Fuchsia is my 198 color WIP. By which I mean it has 198 colors. It is currently taking up every Elizabeth Ward storage container that I own. It is not to be trifled with. It was the last WIP in my year in review. So it was at the very end of the video, I believe. No, it was like the second to last. So really close to the end. So you might not have seen it if you didn't watch the whole thing, which is totally fine. And I'm not being judgy about that at all. And I know that that sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but trust me that it's just my cold. Anyway, what I'm going to do is between when I finish this single placing challenge and Fandom February, I am going to just work on Elegance Fuchsia. I say that a lot. I'm going to just work on Elegance Fuchsia for the rest of the month. And then I wind up starting another project. But hear me out this time. I am going to just work on Elegance Fuchsia because one of my goals for 2026, it was the other goal. I had the 6 kits, making the cart, and then the other one, the last goal, is finishing Elegance Fuchsia before I think it's like June 15th or something like that, because that is when I started Elegance Fuchsia in 2025, and I don't want to be working on the same kit for over a year. So, in terms of content, that is what you got coming. I don't remember off the top of my head. The single placing challenge is going up on Sunday. I don't remember what is scheduled to go up after that. I think it's going to be the kickoff video for Fandom February. That sounds like it could be correct, but who knows? I am the one talking, so it's probably not correct, because why would I know anything about what goes on around here? Sometimes I feel like that's just how it goes. I make the plan and then I forget immediately what the plan was. I don't know what the plan is. A plan? I didn't know there was a plan. Other content. I have been lately on a big Beyonce kick. I mentioned that I'm more of a Beyonce girl than a Taylor Swift girl. Hold on. Yep, we've entered OCD territory. I'm checking to make sure I'm still recording, and I've done it twice. Ooh, that's not good. I should talk to my therapist about that. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Not me compulsing on camera or anything like that. I am more of a Beyonce girl than I am a Taylor Swift girl. And for some reason, Lemonade has entered my rotation again. I shouldn't say for some reason. Lemonade is a great album. But it's been a while since it released. But it's been on heavy rotation again. So there's been Lemonade. I've been back into Halsey again lately. And then every Friday I like to listen to the score. When after like the last kid leaves my room and it's my prep time, I put on a headphone because not every one wants to hear music. And I don't know, I listen to like motivational music while I reset my room and make sure that it's all prepped for the following week. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So that's been what we've been listening to for music. Reading, we're not going to talk about it. I have been having a hard time with the reading lately. I haven't really even been into listening to audiobooks. My mind has just been elsewhere. I've been in more of a put on some music and turn your brain off kind of mood than I have been in a reading sort of mood, which is heartbreaking to me because I love reading so much. The year Little Miss Ma'am was born, I read 70 books. Because, you know, there was just a lot of downtime with the new baby and, you know. And I knew I was never going to get that again because that was a very weird circumstance. I wasn't working. She required a lot of, like, baby wearing, basically. She was a fashion accessory baby. I had a Moby. I would basically tie her to my chest, and that would be the only way she would nap. And so, like, I'd clean and I'd do stuff with her tied to my body, but then when all was said and done, I couldn't like watch TV because it would wake her up. So I would sit and read a lot. Because she just essentially lived in her Moby. It was a very specific set of circumstances and atypical for me. Never going to happen again, but since she's exited that phase, I've had a hard time finding time to read, which I imagine is common with moms. And I haven't, and even when I do have time, like right now, I guess I could technically read, but I would rather be diamond painting. And then in terms of what I've been watching, I was on a bit of a Big Bang Theory kick. But then I kind of got back into the anti-MLM side of YouTube. I've been watching a lot more diamond painting content than usual. Probably because that's just the headspace and the mood I'm in. I want to turn my brain off and watch some comforting crafting content, you know, which I really enjoy, and we have such a beautiful blessing of so many content creators. I've been watching Diamonds and Washi, of course, and I've been watching some Michaela Renee, Diamonds at Tiffany's, Diet Coke and Diamonds, Elisa at Mink Arts and Crafts, lots of that. But then also I was like, you know what, Fandom February. Is there any old fandoms that we would like to revisit? And I was scrolling through my watch history, and I saw Sailor Moon, and I was like, you know what? I have not watched Sailor Moon in a second. So I picked Sailor Moon back up wherever it was that I was when I stopped it, which was almost done with the second season, which is the Chibiusa Crystal Tokyo plot. And it was fun. It was good. I'm watching the original series. I want to go back after I rewatch the original series and check out the new one to see how they've changed it, because there are certain elements of the old Sailor Moon that I really don't think have aged well. And I really hope that they look different in the new one. But I am a big Sailor Moon fan. I loved Sailor Moon when I was a kid. And, you know, doing some little pre-planning for Fandom February. I don't have any Sailor Moon kits, but I was like, what do we want to watch that would get the dopamine going in our brain in the spirit of Fandom February? So, there's that. I don't know, I hate ABs. Like, I hate placing ABs sometimes. It really drives me up the wall. Come on. Come on, little ABs. That's a big part of why I didn't, like, do these last, is because I didn't want to end on a sour note of the AB-ness of it all. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so Sailor Moon. Parts of that show just have not aged well. There's some parts where I look at it and I'm like, they put that on TV? For children? Isn't this a children's cartoon? I know anime can be very grown up and adult, but I thought Sailor Moon was one of the ones where it was like, no, that's definitely for kids. Am I wrong about that? Am I insane? I was never like the most diehard devoted Sailor Moon fan. I mostly watched the show casually as a kid. Casually but obsessively. Like, I had some of the movies and I would rewatch them. When it was on, it was always like, you know, top tier show for me. But like, I never did any research, like in-depth research, or rewatched it. This is the first time I've rewatched it since I was probably 10. So, you know, I haven't thought too much about it between now and then. And, like, I don't remember it being quite this. A lot of the stuff went over my head, though, I guess. All right. Anyway, that is the taco. I did it. I single placed the whole thing. It took me actually roughly an hour. It's 8:24. I started this around 7:23. So, yeah, it took me about an hour. Sorry, I keep hitting buttons and things start playing. I'm going to have to cut that, too. Okay. A lot of cuts in this whip and chat. Anyway, so that is the taco. It took me almost exactly an hour, and that is me talking. And I diamond paint slower during whip and chats. So take from that what you will. You can single place your mini dazzles if you so choose. But yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you later. I hope that your caffeine is hitting just right and that your crafting is going super well. Bye.